Good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Bolingbrook Village Board to order. I'd like to ask Danny Wiesbrook, please lead us in the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Danny. Wait, hey, Danny, wait a second. Show the folks your shirt.
Cubs are going to win all the games.
How long has the Wiesbrook family been in Bolingbrook?
Long enough. I don't know. Ask Jim Bowen. He would know.
Several generations, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, at least 50 years.
Wiesbrook Farm was on West Boughton, north side of Boughton,
Yep.
Yeah.
North side.
Down by St. Francis Church.
going back well before Bolingbrook existed.
That's right.
Well, thanks for leading the pledge.
You're welcome.
Good to see you. Next, roll call, please.
Mayor Claire.
Here.
Trustee Zarate.
Here.
Trustee Lawler.
Here.
Trustee Watts.
Here.
Trustee Hoagland.
Here.
Trustee Morales.
Here.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Here.
Next, approval of minutes, regular meeting of June 26th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. Questions, corrections, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Approve the agenda. Mr. Bowen.
Yes, I'd ask that the motion on the agenda this evening be passed subject to attorney's approval. The actual language in the rider and the amendment that's being discussed there hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay.
No other additions or corrections.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as I guess
So
amended? Motion trustee Hoagland, second trustee Watts. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda's approved. Next, we have one appointment to a commission this evening, Susan Varno, to Historic Preservation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second trustee Morales, second trustee, did you say Jaskowitz? Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It's approved. We don't have any other reports this evening, so Susan, would you come up? I'll swear you in. With her is Bill Cole, the chairman of the Historic Preservation Commission. Susan's an interesting appointee. I've never had one quite with the credential that you have. Retired, lived here just a little over a year, no, not even a year, just 7 months. She's got a degree in political science, but what's interesting, in Calico Rock, Arkansas, come on a little closer. Where is Calico Rock?
It's in the Ozarks, central Arkansas. It's near Mountain Home and Mountain View. It's in the beautiful White River, which is one of the best trout fishing streams in the world, according to Field and Stream.
Do you fish for trout?
No. And it's by Lake North Fork, which my husband fished in that.
Seems like it's by a lot of things. Are people in those towns saying it's by Calico Rock?
No, the White River goes through Calico Rock.
So how big is Calico Rock?
Well, they recently incorporated the prison, so now they have 1,800. Now they have 1,800 residents. Before they only had 1,000.
Oh. Anyway, in Calico Rock, she recorded oral histories, created historic signs, helped relocate and restore the 1856 log cabin, and wrote local history column for the Calico Rock newspaper and the Izard County newspaper. Izard? Is that Izard?
No, the what?
Is that Lizard?
No, Izard, that's the county. The White River Current is in Izard County.
The White River must be something.
It's huge. It drains something like 100,000 square miles or something.
Anyway, she belongs to Friends of the Library, and she'll be a nice addition, Bill. She can help you write some of the stuff up. Okay, at this time, would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
I state your name.
Susan Varno,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
Uphold the Constitution of the United States.
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois.
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the municipal code of the village of Bolingbrook,
the municipal code of the Village of
and I
Bolingbrook,
will faithfully discharge my duties
and will faithfully discharge my
as
duties
a member of the Historic Preservation Commission
as a member of the Historic Preservation Committee
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability,
in a manner prescribed by law.
in a manner prescribed by law.
So, I forgot to ask one question. What brought you to Bolingbrook?
My husband died last,
We'll start to hear that.
August 29th, and we live so far back in the woods, I thought, I don't want to live here by myself. My son lives on Camelot here.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
lived here since, I think, 2012, and he chose Bolingbrook partly because the taxes weren't too bad, and it was close to where he worked.
Say that louder, will you? Oh, you gotta step a little closer to
And
it.
he
They just told me that we
he
gotta go closer,
felt,
right?
he felt he got a lot more for his money here than he did the other places he looked.
Okay. Well, welcome. This is your official commission. I gotta shake your hand, make it official.
Yes, okay.
And there's a Bolingbrook pin.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Okay.
North Calico, Arkansas. You been there, Jim?
Now, I haven't been to Mountain View, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask for what.
He's a world traveler.
I'll wait till after the meeting.
Gas station.
Next, we have bill approval. Exhibit A, $792,755.90. Exhibit B, $2,867,898.83. A total of $3,660,654.73. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Jesuits. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarati.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
I have one motion this evening. The first motion, or the only motion, is to amend the purchase agreement entered into with the Village and Pulte Homes dated May 22nd to decrease the per-unit development fee from $18,872.74 to $16,572.74, and it's also subject to a house price cap at $425,000. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Jesuit, second trustee Watts.
Mayor, do we have to add, subject to final?
Oh, yes,
review?
subject to attorney approval. Thank you. In order for the site work to be done at least 1 foot above flood limits, which is our code, additional dirt is needed to develop the site. When that site was originally annexed and zoned, it was thought that homes would be built with basements. And when you take out the dirt for the basement, that in fact then can be dirt to raise the site up to meet the flood level requirements. These are all going to be one-story homes with an option for a loft above, senior housing. And they don't have basements, so dirt has to be brought in. How many truckloads?
Well, they need about 100,000 yards of dirt.
So whatever that equates to in a truckload. Lucas, do you have any idea?
You probably get about 20 yards, so a truck, so 20, maybe 50,000 trucks.
500.
500.
500
No,
truck-
5,000.
5,000. Want to go again?
5,000, final answer.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. You want to call your mathematician? Anyway, so we met with them. It's a great project, and we're anxious to see it get going. And this, originally, there was going to be some free dirt at a site in a Plainfield, but because of the timing of getting this development agreement done, that dirt was already disposed of in another method. So we have a fee per home, plan review fee that we charge per home. This development has 153 homes in it, but there are basically 4 models. So we're not doing, like in Americana States, 153 homes would be 153 plan reviews because they're all different homes. These are 4 models, so basically you review one plan, 4 different plans, and then it's just a matter of placing it on lots that are already going to be developed. So anyway, in order for the site work to be done, we need 1 foot of dirt. The fee reduction will partially compensate Pulte for importing, hauling, grading, and compacting soil needed to build the subdivision. The total cost is around $900,000. So we're doing a piece of it. Any home sold for more than $425,000 will not get the $2,300 fee reduction. In addition to it being senior, that means there's no impact on the school system. So there's some advantages to having 153 senior homes as opposed to 153 standard single-family homes with children and so forth. So we negotiated this. We bring it to the board tonight for amendment, subject to attorney approval. We have a motion, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Questions?
I have one question. I'm supporting this motion, but I was asked just prior to the meeting, there's an issue taking place in Wheaton Township with a new development there by D.R. Horton between 111th and 119th and Book Road called the Polo Club, where they're going to put in about 700 brand-new units. And there's a major concern over traffic and how that's going to impact the other neighborhoods in the area, the schools and so on. Now, I know this is a senior project, so the schools aren't going to be affected, but how does that affect traffic patterns in that area and things like that? Do we know?
Well, we have planned to make Essington Road, which this project's located on, 4 lanes, and they're contributing, of course, toward the cost of expanding that. And it'll eventually be expanded when the piece north of it, the 75 acres that borders on Rodeo and Essington. That property is currently not on the market, I don't believe. But when that property goes, we'll widen that, and along with Rodeo being widened out to Essington, that will be the extent of our requirements. The piece you're talking about is in Wheatland Township and Naperville, and I read the same articles. There's concerns about it, but my guess is that's been on the books for some time, but it will affect the schools, not our schools. Those students will be attending other schools. We have Liberty Elementary and Eichenberger Elementary, Liberty Middle School right across the street. So those schools are already planned and accounted for. And again, this won't impact the schools anyway, but I don't believe that project in Naperville will affect our schools at all. Further west it will. But, you know, it's like now that all the people in the area, or some of them anyway, don't like this project, there were people before them that didn't like the project in the house they live in. But now that they're in, let's close the gate and nobody else gets in. That's the whole reality of Sector G, which I think Naperville refers to that part of Naperville. That area is developed. I remember driving on 95th Street when it was a 2-lane road and there was nothing out there. And now all you can see is houses and houses. And this is just a continuation of that. I wish the residents in Wheatland Township and the residents perhaps incorporated Naperville well in their objections, but I think this project is probably going to go.
Yeah, that's several hundred homes versus
Yes,
153.
700.
Yeah.
I did question, I think there's, a couple of townhome developments within it, or apartments?
I think
It was
so.
something multifamily. I would have more concern about that than I would the single family. But,
And additionally, the water and sewer infrastructure is already on this site, and the village will be receiving recapture fees. So there's power, there's water, there's sewer. The internal streets will all be built to village standards before they're dedicated to the village. And as Mayor said, off-site improvements across the street is in the village of Plainfield. North is Bolingbrook, so there'll have to be some coordination on the road projects.
And when you add all that together, I think what's key for the residents to understand is the revenue that the village is going to see from this project is well over $4 million versus letting it go by the wayside and getting zero. So,
well, the next developer might want to make single family, will bring in kids and impact on the schools. So I think this cedar development, especially the price range, $350,000 to $400,000 and up over the 3 or 4 year build out, is going to be a huge addition to the west side of town. Any other comments, questions?
Just great job saving that deal.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was on the edge for a while. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. And again, this is a fee amendment. It has nothing to do with taxes. They'll be paying full taxes. Resolutions. First resolution this evening is approving the purchase of 2018 wheeled coach Ford F-550 ambulance from fire service for the use of the fire department. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Watts. This resolution authorizes the purchase of a replacement ambulance. It will replace a 2005 ambulance with 132,000 miles with mechanical issues. The existing ambulance will move to reserve status, and we'll get rid of the one that's in reserve status now, I presume. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The purchase from fire service in the amount of $249,950 and includes a Ford F-550 chassis and a wheel coach ambulance box. This is a sole source vendor in order to keep the vehicles in the ambulance fleet consistent. The budget amount was $250,000, so we're saving $50 off the budgeted amount. I have been doing this for a while, and it's stunning to me that the cost of an ambulance now is $250,000. And that's just the box in the ambulance. That doesn't count some of the stuff you got to put in it and on it. And that's why, for example, we were so happy to get a hospital here in Bolingbrook. That ambulance is not hiking its way to Naperville or up to Downers Grove to Good Sam or to Hinsdale on a regular basis. It's right here in town, so the mileage is minimized that these ambulances accumulate, but it's still $132,000. We want to make sure these things are running well. And it's a recommendation of staff to purchase this ambulance, and it was discussed and put in the budget last spring when we had the budget workshops. And reviewed by the Public Safety Committee, it also reviewed it and recommends approval. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next resolution is approving the purchase of a power load system and upgrade to an existing cot from Stryker for use by the fire department. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion, Jaskowitz, seconded trustee Morales. This resolution approves the purchase of a power load system from Stryker to be used in conjunction with the purchase of the new ambulance. The ambulance will have fittings to attach a Stryker cot to the ambulance bed. The Stryker system reduces the amount of patient lifting and reduces the work-related injuries. Here's one of the costs I mentioned a while ago. The cost for this Stryker addition to the $249,000 or $50,000 ambulance is $29,523.97, which is $476.03 under the budget amount of $30,000. The village's workers' compensation carrier will provide a $10,000 grant toward the purchase, since it will reduce the village's cost to $19,523.97 because it's less apt to injure people, since they'll have help lifting patients who vary in size and weight.
Yes.
So that's why we're getting the grant from the Workers' Compensation Company. The Public Safety Committee again reviewed and recommends approval. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution is approving the purchase of 15 2018 Ford Police Interceptor sedans from Curry Motors and one 2018 Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck from Advantage Chevrolet for use in the police department. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
trustee Watts, seconded trustee Lawler. This resolution authorizes the purchase of 16 replacement vehicles in the police department, 15 squads and one pickup truck. The 15 squads, again, are 2018 Ford Interceptors, and we've been told this is the last year that Ford's going to be making these. We've had Chevys in the past. The manufacturers keep changing who's providing them. I don't think any of them want to. Anyway, they're being purchased through Curry Motors through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative. Suburban Purchasing Cooperative is a group of municipalities that bid items as a group, knowing they have hundreds more than what one city would buy, getting a very good price. Curry Motors was a successful bidder in that, so all the vehicles come through Curry Motors. We did, however, get a quote for the pickup truck from Advantage Chevrolet here in town, and the cost, again, is $39,034.63 per squad car, or a total of $585,519.45. The cost of the pickup truck with equipment installation is $47,991. Total vehicle cost is $633,510.45, which is $11,420.18 under the budget amount. Cost of vehicles will be offset by $200,000, which we get from federal seizure funds, which we get in drug busts and so forth. So as a drug bust, we get a percentage of the money here in the village. So we're going to use $200,000 toward the cost of this, and an additional $84,840 from DUI funds. So the net cost is, you didn't have the net cost. Well, it's Lucas, it's 640.
The net cost, Mayor, is $348,670.45.
Okay.
That was faster than Lucas said.
I don't buy PD's vehicles, they do.
How many vehicles did we buy last year, Ken?
We bought an animal control van and I believe 7 Ford Interceptors similar to these, but then they were assigned to our traffic unit and our POP unit.
How many squad cars do we have total?
Let's see, sir.
Approximately.
In the actual black and white, total complete, we have about 86 cars, 86 vehicles.
These are all replacements.
These are all replacements for the Chevys, yes, sir.
What's the average mileage?
Well over 100,000 miles on these. We find that the Chevys are actually, they weren't made to be police cars. They were kind of retrofitted, if you will. The electrical systems weren't supporting our cameras. Door hinges needed replacement because we're in and out of them so often. After 75,000 miles, they just were exhausted. But that's why we're going back to the Chevys this year.
So the engine,
Fords,
the average 100,000 miles, what's the average engine runtime?
Oh, that's probably double those hours. You know, I know those traffic crashes where we're...
Yeah. Gotta keep those light bars going.
Is the pickup also replacement?
No, sir, the pickup is an additional vehicle. So we found that during storms and inclement weather, and even we put a plow on the front. We actually plow in our emergency responders, our squad cars and our ambulances.
Maybe plow out versus in.
And then, yes, correct, plow them into the house and then plow them out to get to where they need to go. But, so we found that it was such a great asset on the west side of town. We now will have 2, so if in those rare storms, we'll have one on the east, one on the west.
Same model?
Same model, it'll be exactly the same, and they're actually assigned to the supervisors, so they're not as
Used or?
as often,
Yeah.
yes.
Less road miles.
Less road
Any
miles.
questions?
Director Temple, after the Ford stops making these Interceptors, what are you going to do in about 4 or 5 years?
Well, Deputy Chief Romp and I talked about that today. Ford's come out with a couple hybrids, but they're still massaging that model. They're still going to make the Ford Interceptor, but the utility vehicle for years. But 2020, they said, will be the last year we'll be able to acquire these vehicles. 2019 is the last year they're making them. So I believe Dodge is still making a product, but we'll consult with Public Works and see what direction we should go.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarati.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. Next resolution is approving a management service agreement with MindSight. MindSight. Their motion.
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Watts, second Trustee Morales. This resolution approves a service agreement with MindSight to provide a firewall and security for the Munis software system, with the village bringing payroll in-house and secured connections to the payroll and employee information is needed. The MindSight agreement is for 3 years at a cost of $52,632 per year. The Finance Committee has reviewed this and again recommends approval. Questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarati.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. First ordinance this evening is approving an agreement between the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, better known as MAP, Bolingbrook Professionals, Chapter 522, in the village of Bolingbrook, May 1st, 2015 through April 30th, 2020, subject to attorney approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. This agreement approves the renewal of a labor contract with MAP, Chapter 522. The contract covers civilians in the police department, certain professionals in the public service department, and miscellaneous positions. There are 10 employees in this union. The prior labor contract expired April 30th, 2015. The parties have had periodic negotiation sessions since the expiration. The proposed collective bargaining agreement would be retroactive May 1st, 2015, and would expire April 30, 2020. The wages increased 2.5% per year. Employee health insurance contribution will increase in 2015 by 10%, 16 10%, 17 10%, 18 12.5%, and 19 15%. There are also a few non-economic language changes. The union has ratified and signed the agreement. If somebody wants to see the entire contract, we'd be happy to provide them a copy, but we didn't make copies of it tonight. It's lengthy, and so those are the significant changes. Questions? Somebody might ask, how come we're going back to 2015? That's because unions of this size wait till all the big unions settle before they settle, so they get the Me Too thing. In other words, the regular cops, the firefighters asked me to settle for this, so we want the same thing. And that's effectively basically what this is.
Right, and we ended up going to arbitration, that drug everything out on the...
Yeah, and the fire union went to arbitration, was burned up a year or more, so they all sit back and wait till that's resolved. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. The next order is providing for the regulation of and the application for small wireless facilities. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Watts. The village approved a small wireless facility ordinance on June 13, 2017. On April 12, 2018, the governor signed Senate Bill 1451, the Small Wireless Facilities Deployment Act. This act provides for regulating, permitting, and deployment of small wireless facilities. The statute preempts local governments, including home rule governments, for having terms different from the state statutes. Therefore, the village's earlier ordinance needs to be modified to match the state statute. Local municipalities have until August 1st, 2018 to adopt any local amendments, and a fee schedule or the state's language applies. This ordinance adopts the Illinois Municipal League's Model Wireless Facilities Deployment Ordinance with local amendments, master pole attachment agreement, and permit application form. It also codifies the village's earlier ordinance. That's a whole lot of stuff. It's kind of complicated, but to try and summarize it, because of the demand for cell services, cell phone towers are sufficient, but in heavily populated areas with so many people wanting to get on the internet and use wireless products, the cell towers can't handle it. So they're going to what they call small cells in between those towers. And those small cells will either be attached to existing utility lights, street lights, or if there's not a street light in the area where it's needed, the small cell companies will put up their own pole, which will be similar to a street light, but not the same. It'll just be a pole with a little device attached to the top. The municipalities fought against the state statute. It was introduced by the cell carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, and so on, because they wanted to preempt all local government control so they could come into town and stick them wherever they wanted. And I actually asked some legislators, you want one of these in your parkway? Of course not. But they passed it anyway. So we have until August 1st, as I said, to make any local changes to regain some control in this. And it wasn't about money for permit fees. It wasn't about that. It was just so we could say, hey, look, we don't want to put one in the middle of somebody's front yard. Can you put it between the houses or down the street or in the corner? Because there is flexibility in where they go. But the General Assembly stuffed it down our throat anyway, as they do most bills, and I could sit here for half an hour talking about bills they do to take powers away from local government when their own backyard is a total mess, as we all know. But anyway, that's just called a small cell bill. It passed by both the House and the governor signed into law, much to our objections, but that's the way Springfield works. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Frustrating about bills like this that only affect densely populated areas like suburban Chicago certainly suburban St. Louis, maybe Peoria, maybe Champaign, Urbana, maybe Springfield, is the rest of the state isn't impacted by this because they don't have the demand for small cells. They don't have the demand. Those cell towers will accommodate their needs. But the industry, again, going back to AT&T and T-Mobile and Sprint and the rest of them, they go to Springfield and they push this bill, and the small cities across the state like it because they'll get some permit fees out of it. Well, they're not going to be putting these up in those small cities because the small cities don't need them. It only impacts the metropolitan areas. But yet, a good portion of the General Assembly votes on it anyway when it really doesn't apply to them. It's frustrating. They don't really know what they're talking about, all due respect. Anyway, the bill gets passed, and we'll deal with it the best we can, but...
And Chicago's exempt.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. And the city of Chicago is zipped. You know, you talk about how corrupt government is. The city of Chicago, which has a significant portion of the votes in Springfield, exempts themselves from this and only passes it subject to, it only applies to the rest of the cities in the state. I mean, that's just incredible when you see this happen.
That happens quite a bit with them.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of legislation passed. It only affects cities under 500,000 people, which means it's an arbitrary number because nobody's 500,000 people except Chicago. Under that, you have to do it. Oh, and they also convince the industry that if we don't do this, you won't get 5G because all your phones now are basically 4G, went from 3G to 4G. They also convinced the members of General Assembly that if they don't put the small cell bill through, it'll impair the ability to provide 5G service. It's stunning how gullible Springfield is. I get a roll call?
Yes.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes.
Our next ordinance, amending Chapter 13 of the municipal code regarding a D1 liquor license for tailgaters. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Trustee Hoagland,
Second.
seconded Trustee Zarate. The village has not been issuing any new Class A liquor licenses for many, many, many years. Class A licenses are late-night bar licenses. There are only 3 in Class A license holder in Bolingbrook. Because this is not an active classification, there are no companion outdoor cafe licenses available. This ordinance amends the liquor code to make a Class D1 outdoor seating license available in conjunction with Class A and Class D and Class D2 licenses. And this is specifically because Tailgaters is putting in an outdoor cafe in front of their store. You may have seen some of the work they're doing. It's going to, I think, make the old shopping center look nicer, and it'll match many of the facilities we have at the mall and on Weber Road for outdoor seating. Beggars has it. Casa La Cabrita has it. It's kind of a trendy thing to have outdoor cafe and eating. There will be no music outside, strictly for dining and so forth. Questions? Who did
Bulldogs.
Clementines, and what's the third one?
Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, yes. Those are the only Class A license holders we have in Bolingbrook. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. The last ordinance amending Chapter 13 Municipal Code increasing D1 outdoor full liquor from 21 to 22 for tailgaters. This is, now we've created the classification, this is actually issuing the license. Class D1 outdoor full liquor from 21 to 22, again, tailgaters. This, motion?
Motion. So moved.
Motion, Trustee Lawler, seconded Trustee Jaskowitz. This ordinance approves a D1 outdoor dining liquor license for tailgaters. Tailgaters constructing an outdoor seating area which will provide seating for up to 50 people and would like to be able to serve alcohol, which requires this license. This ordinance increases the number from 21 to 22. Questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. Questions to the audience, questions to the press? Seeing none, trustee comments, reports. Trustee Zarate.
Thank you, Mayor. The Beautification Commission will be house judging Landscape Excellence Award on Friday, July 20th through Sunday, July 22nd. Please make sure your house numbers are clearly visible. And I have one more. Hearthaven Outreach will be having their golf outing and Christmas in July gala dinner this Thursday, July 12th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. The phone number, if you want to get involved and donate, the number you could reach is 630-226-8403, and it will be held at the Bolingbrook Golf Club, and it starts at 12:30 p.m. Shotgun for golf is at 6 p.m. Doors open, and doors will be open for dinner. This is a wonderful event, and it helps all our youth in Bolingbrook, and we hope that if you can't go, if you could help support. This is a wonderful event, and a lot of people put a lot of work into it, and I just want to say, if you want to donate, do it. This is a great opportunity. Thank you.
The usual reminder about the concert series tomorrow night at Behind Village Hall, Performing Arts Center. That is the last of the Park District-sponsored concerts. Starts at 7:30 and runs until 9 p.m. And then Thursday, the Promenade continues their efforts with the band starting at 7 o'clock and going until 9 o'clock. The Farmers Market goes from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m. At the Performing Arts Center, until July 22nd, there are performances. The local community theater in the Hill Group is doing Hairspray. And on Saturdays, Friday and Saturday, the performances are at 8 p.m., on Sundays at 7 p.m., and then you can get tickets at the event. There's also group discounts, but you can go to the website theateronthehill.org to get more information. That's it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by congratulating Susan Barno on her appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission. We appreciate Susan stepping up, and we can already tell she's going to be a great addition to that commission. Few announcements here. Bolingbrook STEM Association is hosting the Summer Break STEM Camp. It's the final week for registration. From what I understand, registration is going well so far. The camp actually takes place July 16th through the 20th, and it's classes for pre-K all the way to 12th grade. Any questions, you can call 630-410-9602, or you can email info@bolingbrook.stem.org. It's amazing that we're already promoting and spreading word about events coming up in September. This year's going by fast. We have two, September 8th from 1 to 6 p.m. We have the Bolingbrook Joy Fest, the family fun Christian music festival, where there'll be food vendors, live music, kids activities, product vendors, giveaways, youth ministries, and much, much more. That takes place right here behind Town Center, 375 West Briarcliff Road. Any questions, you can call 630-244-8048, or you can email Ruth Newell, RUTHNEWELL 65@gmail.com. And then secondly, we have the Bolingbrook Pathways Parade the very next day, September 9th, that's Sunday, where the theme is Celebrating Generations. The 2018 Grand Marshal is Jimmy Choi, and that takes place right here in Bolingbrook from 2 to 6 p.m. There'll be live music, there'll be a parade award, food, fun, and games right here behind Town Center. For any questions, www.bbcca.org/pathways-parade. Thank you.
2018 Community Resource Fair, Wednesday, July 11th from 9 a.m. to noon, which is tomorrow morning, at the DuPage Township Levy Center at 251 Canterbury Lane. This is a free event for everyone, and everyone is welcome. Free popcorn, there will be great information.
There will be flu shots provided, so if you haven't gotten yours, please come on out and get it. Any questions, please contact Maureen Fox at DuPage Township at 630-759-3411. I have an announcement from the Will County Clerk Office. All registered voters will be receiving your new registration card in July. All active registered Will County voters will be receiving a new voter registration card in the mail by the end of July. By law, the Will County Clerk's Office is required to issue a new voter's registration card to each register every 2 years. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you.
This Friday, Friday 13th, from 5 to 8, the Bolingbrook Police Department will be holding its second annual squad car night at the Bolingbrook Promenade. This year's event is in memory of Officer Stephen Alexander. We recall there was a tragic accident this past year, and we lost Officer Stephen Alexander. Again, Bolingbrook Police Department will be holding a second annual squad car night. Quite a procession of police cars from the area. It's a great evening. Come on out to the Bolingbrook Promenade this Friday from 5 to 8. That's all. Thank you.
Saturday, July 14th, this coming Saturday, Advantage Chevrolet is holding a special barbecue fundraiser to support the USO and our troops. This will take place from 12 to 3. The 95.9 The River radio station will be there with DJ, and they'll have live music with Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, and any donations will go to supporting our troops in the USO. That's this Saturday from 12 to 3 at Advantage Chevrolet off of 55 and 53 there. Also on July 20th, which is a Friday night, the Bolingbrook Rotary Club, along with 9 other Rotary clubs in the area, are hosting their 4th annual Polio Plus fundraiser at the Slammer game in Joliet. And for $10, you get into the game, you get to see the fireworks at the end of the game, and $5 of that $10 ticket go to our charity Polio Plus. The Rotary group is trying to eliminate polio throughout the world. We've eliminated it in every country but 2. We're down to 3 to 4 cases of polio in the world. It'll be one of the very few diseases that have been eradicated due to Rotary and the Bill and Linda Gates Foundation. And finally, I'd like to give a shout out to the Bolingbrook Police and Fire Department and the Bolingbrook Golf Club staff who had to work under very stressful conditions during our 4th of July event that was held there this last week. And in spite of the weather and everything else, I think the majority of people that attended had a great time, and they had to make some hard decisions, and they made some good decisions. So congratulations. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, the fireworks display was a very nice display. It got hit by a storm. There were those who sent in emails questioning why we didn't cancel. That was a call made by the Director of Public Safety, the General Manager of the golf course, and myself to move the fireworks display up. People were upset it wasn't done at 9:20, it was done at 8:45. We probably talked to National Weather Service at least 15 times during the course of the day. The weather forecast kept shifting, and the storm front that was going to come in at 3 or 4 or 5 never really materialized. The rain that hit, we have 3 sewage treatment plants geographically spread throughout Bolingbrook. The rain at one plant was 1/3 of an inch. The second plant was 1/3 of an inch. The plant by the golf course was 1.5 inches. And we made numerous announcements during the course of the day. Some said they didn't hear it. We'll be looking to add speakers next year. Made numerous announcements about the weather. One person did point out there is an issue about parental responsibility. If people see a storm front coming and you're concerned, we all have phones, we have apps, we had announcements. We had no way to predict the severity of that storm when it came through. We did move it up because the National Weather Service told us at 8:20 the storm would not hit till 9:30 or after. So we moved it to 8:45 to get it over with. because it was in the ground, ready to go. It's a very expensive show, and we would have to provide security to keep that thing open for a day or 2 or 3. I see Aurora rescheduled theirs to Friday night, July 27th, for a 4th of July show. It's just an interesting evening. I again want to commend all the department's employees and volunteers who stepped up under a tough situation. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but we were going on the best information we could get from the National Weather Service. I'll be anxious to see what the people in the audience have to say about those comments. Mr. Can, you got all these questions and facts you throw out on the internet. Why don't you just come up and ask the questions here and get the facts?
I don't have any comments on this one, but perhaps the next meeting.
Oh. Well, you mentioned something about buying trees. Did we buy any trees tonight?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about with buying trees.
Well, I love the fact that you're actually asking questions for everything from this, but
Fees are paid by builders, taxes are paid by residents. So when a builder wants to build something, they pay a fee to get the plans reviewed. Trinidad and Director of Public Safety, Mr. Keppel, he says we could get a better purchaser to save money on the ambulance. So why don't you ask him afterwards where his ambulance locations might be. And we're being ripped off $52,000 by the Munis software, that we need to get a better purchaser for that too. So we need to look into that. And he's curious about, we only have 3 liquor licenses. Well, if you'd ask the question, I'd be happy to tell you, we used to have several. That's a 3 o'clock in the morning license. As those licensed businesses have closed, we've taken them back and do not issue a 3 o'clock license anymore. We only issue 2 o'clock, and that's why there's only 3 left. And of course, Clementines were closed, that license would probably go away. If Tailways were closed, that license would go away. Holiday Inn, I don't even think they really care because they don't stay open that late anyway. So that's why those are gone. Now, I'm not going to, with streaming video, which we've added, and of course, they're already questioning the expense of streaming video. We did that as a service for people to watch the board meeting, those of you out there watching because of streaming video. And I'm not going to get in the habit of answering questions from people sitting in this audience right now, throwing questions out and somewhat frivolous information or suggestions when, in fact, I don't think you really know where you can buy a cheaper ambulance, but you may prove me wrong. I'll be anxious to hear what you got to say. So in the interest of doing this efficiently and trying to get the public information out, that's why we asked for questions to the audience. Come up and ask those questions. We'll be happy to give the best answer. I'll get you a more correct answer. With that, we have no executive sessions. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Hoagland, second trustee Lawler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand.